Okay guys, it's our last review before the final, so I gave you here a few images of a certain spot on Earth to make some observations about. So like we've done a couple times already, what do we notice about the crust on either side of the plate boundary? What do we notice about earthquakes on either side of the plate boundary in terms of location and depth? And then the third map down here, as you can see, is volcanoes, right? So zoom in on each of those maps, figure out, are they on boundary, off the boundary, depth, combination of those, and same thing with volcanoes. So record information in here, and then look back at those assignments from the other day and figure out what kind of boundary is it and what crusts are involved. And then show me up on that plate boundary map, the first one, by drawing arrows correctly towards each other, away from each other, side by side. Put those arrows on that plate boundary map to show that off. Okay, part 2, I gave you 2 pictures. Just reading the directions here. I gave you 2 pictures. Put an X through the one that doesn't match the boundary that you decided above. And the one that is a match, give a couple pieces of information onto it. And then as we think about that key idea of the inside creating the outside, you've got a little description here with, yes, lots of keywords to plug in. And this is a super awesome summary of all those details. Again, what's going on the outside can only be determined by what's going on inside. So we have our key ideas: ridge push, slab pull, asthenosphere, lithosphere, all the things in this summary, things that you want to make sure you know for the unit tests. And then the last thing here, interior forces. So just kind of a visual of that description and that summary. Nothing new here, just practicing with in a different way. On this picture here, just labeling up a few things where we can see the lithosphere, where we can see the asthenosphere, and then where that heat is coming inside the earth from radioactive decay. That one's new, I guess. So looking at the 2 areas that I highlighted, each of those is a type of boundary. So you should be able to match up the convection currents to those boundaries. We want 2 big currents here, and then 1 feature for each boundary, right? So you've got a green box representing this area of the crust and interior, and a purple box representing this area of the crust and interior. So this bottom section, the last section, is you describing what's going on at those green and purple locations. So this list of terms right here should be sprinkled around in between the green location and the blue location, right? One is describing warm material, one is looking where cool material is. So they should be opposites of each other. So think about those areas, what you do know. Maybe you're gonna start with what kind of boundary it is. Maybe you're gonna start with the temperature. Get ridge push, slab pull in there. So you should have a short list from these vocab words in these 2 tables, okay? Make sure you submit when you're done. And as always, message me any questions that you have. Thanks, team.